Well, it's time for part 2, ladies and gentlemen, of Safa versus Liam Jacobs. And boy, is it a doozy. And the onslaught against Jacob continues. Let's get into it.
My wife, she get here.
Did I hear that correctly? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so you guys will remember that a few days ago, I released a video where Liam Jacobs released half of the interaction of him and Safa. Some interesting things happened during that meeting. If you haven't seen it yet, I've left a link to that video in the description. Now, let's have a look at part 2.
Right here, you'll find a letter that comes from an advocate by the name of Tebogo Motlanthe, right? Now, this individual writes this letter in 2022, and I asked this, given your financial position, you say you are in a bad financial position. I'm about to mention more debt that is included in this.
More?
In this particular letter, it states that you have a repayment period between 2023 and 2025 of this FIFA loan. Have you been able to honor it?
Yes, we have.
It is $250,000 times 2 a year, which is the equivalent of 8.9 million rand that has been drained out of Safa to repay a loan. And that is why I raise these questions, Chairperson, because you must understand the matters regarding how much is actually given to players versus how much is given to officials, which is why I want to ask, and this is a qualitative question to Mr. Jordan. I'd like to ask, are you happy with the size of your NEC?
Either the NEC does not depend my happiness or unhappiness.
Do you believe that it is a size that yields the benefits that you'd like to see out of an NEC?
That is something that the NEC or the Congress can debate on.
Bullshit, okay?
No, you can have an opinion. You can have an opinion if you think, you are dodging the question.
Because on the 18th of June 2013, FIFA wrote to Safa, and they wrote that your NEC is bloated, that your NEC is way too big, that your NEC, they've recommended that your NEC should consist of approximately 18 members, and it currently consists of 47.
47? That's more than double.
So, if that is the case, this gives us an understanding of why you have bloated honoraria costs. You have honoraria costs that sit in 2023 at 2.5 million rand. This is just honoraria, not allowance, Chairperson. 2.5 million in 2023 and 6.1 million in 2024, which works out to 54,976 rand per member in 2023 and 130,000 rand per member in 2024. But had this been 18 members, Chairperson, the honoraria would have been 989,000 approximately in 2023 and 2.3 million rand in 2024. And I want us to take into consideration these numbers, because if you do the math here, Chairperson, you find that this is mathematics that is almost the equivalent of how much the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture had to give to you to bail you out due to your financial circumstances. So what steps are you actually taking against officials who are also responsible for the fact that your finances are not in a good space?
Honorable Jacobs, please wrap up.
I've asked the question, Chairperson. I'll wrap up shortly after.
Yeah, answer.
The letter that you read, I think the letter is dated 2013. Is that?
Yes.
I just want to, it's 2013. We are now in 2025. The first question you must ask, what did Safa do in terms of that letter? I think that letter was signed by Jerome Barco.
You've got the completely wrong names here, but you can proceed. It's signed by Marco Villager. And
Marco Villager was the head of legal at the time.
And Oliver Jabber.
Yes. That matter was discussed with FIFA. So that thing has no value. That matter was dismissed. You see, there are a number of... FIFA has 211 members. And the way the membership are composed depend on a number of issues. It's not just pick a number, this is a number of... If you look at our statutes, you'll actually see the breakdown of the NEC.
So, Chairperson, in that regard, through you, has FIFA said that you are fine? That the size of your NEC is fine?
That FIFA does not exist anymore, and it was agreed that to leave the matter.
Just answer the damn question.
He is continuing to dodge the question. You can't, like, okay, let's just finish this.
So you disagree with the fact that NEC should be smaller and you'd rather have a bloated NEC as you sit here?
No, I don't agree with that. I don't support or not support it. For me, it's a matter of the members themselves. The statutes was approved by the members. The NEC is here, and the allocation per province is here, and how they come to represent the provinces are also in our statutes.
So he's just, all he did was he dodged the question. He didn't answer it properly, nothing, right? He just dodged it completely, saying like, yeah, but the committee or whoever voted on it, so why should I have an opinion on it? Because you're like the main guy. You can make decisions. You can cut the NEC in half if need be. And to try and like say, oh, but the FIFA people that were in charge in 2015 or whatever are no longer the same people and we've sorted it out. BS. Bull. This guy is heavily under fire. And this clip has gone kind of viral and it's caused quite a stir in the political realm. Not a lot of people are liking this. Here's an example. The SASCOC president Barry Hendricks kicked out of committee meeting after refusing to apologize for remarks. And this is what Hendricks said. He said it applies to everyone, including the committee. This is a serious matter. Some members are using these meetings to boost their social media profiles, Mr. Jacobs. And at that point, the chairperson interrupted him, so who knows what he was going to say about Mr. Jacobs. But there's no doubt that he was talking about Mr. Jacobs. And we've seen other politicians like Gayton McKenzie try and call out Liam Jacobs in the past. And it's funny how there's reaction, because what Liam Jacobs is doing is exposing the rot that exists within certain departments between NPOs and other organizations. His posts are going viral because people are fed up of the mismanagement and the exorbitant expenses that these politicians and organizations take advantage of. Hundreds of thousands of rand spent on an air ticket or accommodation. And finally, someone is trying to hold them to account. And this, of course, is pissing off a lot of people who are very happy to use taxpayer money to fund their lavish trips to Vietnam and other places of the world. And here's the thing about Liam Jacobs. Okay, let me just explain this. Liam has been on social media long before he was in parliament or a politician or what have you. Long before he was on this committee. He's always been exposing things in South Africa, talking about South African current affairs and all that stuff. He made a name for himself on TikTok through his TikTok account. He is a social media person and he is naturally taking those traits, that talent of his, into parliament or into these committee meetings. He is giving the public unprecedented access to knowing what is going on with taxpayer money, and he has every right to do so. And while some other politicians have recorded themselves before, and yes, the portfolio committees are streamed live, most of them anyway, Liam is making sure that the important parts get seen. Because I don't know if you've tried to watch a portfolio committee meetings, they're not always entertaining. And quite frankly, I don't think he's bolstering his social media presence. I think he's bolstering his political career. And I mean, how else would you like it to go down? How else would you like Liam to be? Because recently another MP was in the spotlight during a portfolio committee meeting, and this MK MP was in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Let me just show you.
Who's Mr. Squirm? About. All right.
Well, that's a Zuma laugh.
Honorable Kobani, go through the chairperson.
Okay, Chair. Mr. Squirm, sure, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Yeah, one know it's okay. I have a question here that Mr. Squirm, are you out on bail on fraud and mismanagement case involving Safa fund to CEO and new NEC? Why did the NEC fail to charge the CFO for his fraud and management of fund case? This practice raises issues of constitution, as Ms. Namka Mpele and others employed have been charged and fired based on allegation and breach of corporate government principles. What nationality do you possess what are the other rules on responsibility you possess in the association based being in the CFO? So you are not charged, accounted? Is what I wanted to ask. Is it true, Chair?
What?
I don't think anybody can answer what you just asked. Nobody in this room knows what you have just said. No, like there's charges of, that's the only part I got, or like a charge of fraud. I don't know. Am I the only one?
That's my question.
This response, CFO.
Mihlongoliwini, mikhomiwini mbaila, even namuhla mari ntirhweni. How come things comes like that? We need that explanation. But it's not harming. We are asking. We are not harming anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we speak our minds.
Thank you, honorable member.
I'm still continuing.
Okay.
Yes, I want to speak, finish, and 10 minutes to me is not work. Only 5 minutes, no bonus.
What?
Chair, I'll finish now. I'll answer everything, not one by one. That I'm not the pastor, I'm not the prophet to say one and one. Safa got 54, not 52 regions. It's 54 or 52? 52. You guess. Why are they failing to pay traveling fees to all the teams around South Africa? Why are they also failing to give them soccer kits? How many regions did they give the kids? Minyiki wangani shikipa swa bolo. Why under 17 2023 did they pay Bafana players their outstanding amount since January? Did you pay? Did you make everything from January to up to date the mandate outstanding? Is what I wanted to ask. I don't have a more further question, but after this meeting, Chair, we have to handle ourselves by the hands. We make unite, we make social cohesion, we are not enemies. As a MK, we are not enemies of anybody, but we want to understand. That's it.
Is that what you want? Is that how you want all the MPs to act and all the politicians to act, where you don't understand a word that they're saying, you don't even understand the question that they're trying to ask? At least Liam can put a sentence together. Now, I can use the same arbitrary logic that this MK MP is just trying to also ride the bandwagon of, you know, trying to accuse or get to the bottom, expose the rot that exists in South Africa. But we can see by the amount of jokes that he tried to make and how he was laughing that he's not really taking this seriously. Either way, I'd much rather have Liam Jacobs, 100 of them in that room, than that MK MP. A lot of people are quite rightfully asking on social media, how the hell did this MK MP even get into parliament, get into this meeting? How did he even become a politician if he can't even put two sentences together, let alone a question? But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, ladies and gentlemen. Are you happy to see Liam exposing the rot that exists in South Africa? And what do you think about the MK MP that couldn't really put a question together? No matter where you're watching, ladies and gentlemen, please leave me a follow, share this video far and wide, and if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. And if you really want to support my work, then please consider becoming a member to my YouTube channel. It goes a long way to supporting me and helping me to produce content for you guys. If you remember, there's a lot of exclusive perks, so click on that join button below this video. With all that being said, thanks for watching. Your Newsflash is in.
Oh my goodness. I called the emergency. They said to call leasing office. Leasing office said they're unavailable. Oh my God.